What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the PCN Podcast. I'm Brazilian. Alongside me, a little bit of a host change today. AJ, it looks like it's going in the right direction. In his place, we have Rio. We also have today with us Jakub, Vaccine, and Vape. Today's sponsor is going to be Dorsey. We found him alive. Dorsey, wish you a swift and speedy recovery, friend. So, Rio, you want to start us off with some Super League deets?
Well, the table hasn't changed that much since the first podcast that never aired. But we got River Plate sitting in first with 34 points. Only got the one draw to PSG on the opening night. Man City is in second place. 7 wins, 4 draws, 1 loss. Behind them is the controversy of Benfica. 6 wins, 6 draws. And then after that, from 4th through 6th is a tie between Atlanta United, Schalke, and Leverkusen, who Atlanta United and Leverkusen played each other the other night. Vaccine, would you like to chime in on that?
Yeah, I unfortunately didn't play on that game. I watched the stream, and, they played a really good game, very compact defensively, really hard to break down, and the one time they were able to get an attack going, just couldn't really stop it. So good showing by them. I mean, they've had a great job since they've gone up from League One last season, so, props to them for their performance so far.
And then next and sitting in 7, we have Man United, who recently had a manager change. Magic Man stepping down, B-God came up. Sitting in 8th place, we have Juventus, of all people.
I'd be careful about bad-mouthing them on this podcast. They get pretty mad.
All right, I got the juice on that shit. So according to people who shall not be named, apparently their team is fighting a little bit more than usual. It's resulting with people from stop playing. Rumor on the streets is that the new boys to the team, as in Azteca, Ozil, and all of them, they might be stop playing. And then also key players such as Thiago, Isokin, Kazra, Hernandez, and a few more people are all going out the door. So that job's really going to have big problems when it's coming into the next few game days.
I'd be careful with, any kind of criticism of Juve. I mean, not that it's an incessant fear, but Juve are just a team that have shown time and time again that regardless of how good or even just average in their terms their season can be, they can still turn it around and win silverware. And I feel like no matter who they lose, it's not going to be the end of their run.
Speaking of Juve losing players, right behind them in the table is Lyon, who has a former Juve player on their roster in Field of Fish. And behind them, we have Inter Milan, mid-table, Arsenal, 2 recently promoted sides. And then we have Roma, PSG, and New York right there, not far behind. And then we get into the relegation sides. Sitting in 15th, we have Bayern Munich, who finally picked up some wins. Sitting on 9 points with 3 draws. Only scored 7 goals so far this season, though, which is never a good sign. In 16th, we have Liverpool, 17th, Young Boys, and then in the last 3, we have Chelsea, Lazio, and the Pirates. The Pirates, who switched management, still have yet to pick up a win, but have 4 draws so far this season.
Fucking J-Way. Taking a championship team and then just ditching it, and now it's about to go down. Rest in peace.
It's okay. Those are his sales boss tactics.
He's probably out getting drunk on some golf course.
To be fair to Pirates, though, they're a pretty late team forming in the league, so I guess
I agree.
It's not particularly surprising that they're struggling the way they are. I think the other interesting thing is the Panic Attack and Ace, the longtime Super League managers, and they're sitting here on the bubble. Is this finally the time they go down, or will they be able to get things back in order and see what happens from there?
I'm also pretty impressed with Bayern Munich's start. Obviously, they're not where they want to be, but they're in a better position now than they were at the end of last season, going in and throughout a big chunk of last season. So I think that they're a team that's now on the up and up and ready to kind of move forward with their with their trials and tribulations and try and get some more results this season.
Yeah, but going back to Bayern Munich, they literally had the same exact problems as last year. Last year, they were one of the better defensive teams in the relegation zone, but they just couldn't score goals, which is costing them. I mean, when you're averaging under a goal a game, it's really going to hurt you, especially from the fact they've scored the least amount of goals in the league. But their decent defense at best is keeping them up for now.
The two teams that I'm concerned about the most right now would have to be Bayern Munich and New York. 7 goals, 8 goals scored for both of them. They're not scoring many goals, and they're losing 1-2-0 every game. And it's not the strongest way to start off, but anything's possible. They can bounce back.
For sure. Especially if the teams under them, if they're constantly getting blown out. I mean, as long as they're not losing as bad as the other teams, the bottom's not going to really change that much because of goal difference and shit. But, anything can happen. I believe in you, Alex. Go pay some more people.
All right, and before we move on to D1, I think it'd be a very good time to take a look at the Super League Team of the Week, Week 1 for Season 9. Let's hear some thoughts. I'm impressed by Swifties, who at times by a lot of people in the PCN community has been given a lot of stick, but so far this season he's really coming up to show that he's still got it and he's ready to keep the assists flowing and the creative juices pumping at Atlanta, and I'm happy for him.
Yeah, going back to Swifty, I really am impressed with his performances here. Him and Roberto both have really put in some work. Swifty's obviously been on Team of the Season before. For D1, he's been Super League Team of the Season, so I guess it's not particularly surprising, and it's good that he's been able to fit in with everyone at Atlanta. And we picked up Jig, we moved some people around in the attack, so once again, hopefully another great season out of him. And Roberto, playing so well that people are asking whether or not that's Italiano playing. I gotta say that's a good problem to have. So
you said Jig, like Jigsaw?
Z-Jig.
Okay. I was about to say hashtag not my manager.
Empty.
I was going to say that speaking of people on the list that is impressive, looking at stats and the way they've been playing, CDM Player of the Week, Jamie, just looking at the stats, he's doing everything for Inter. He's scoring goals, getting tackles. He's leading the league in man of the matches. So it's not much more you could ask in for CDM.
Man's been bossing it. Well-deserved Player of the Week.
Absolutely. 5 man of the matches. He's been on another level.
Speaking of this Super League Team of the Week, hey, Rio, why don't you talk a little bit about why B-Don got all pissy about Team of the Week?
Okay, so B-Don has felt that the Team of the Week has been biased this season because he feels that his 2 center backs and Slip Kid and Lil Perp should have been on the Team of the Week over Evan and Lipton. To which, no matter who you want to look at it, stats are stats, and they have better stats, no matter how people want to look at it or what his opinion on his players are. So,
yeah, and with Lipton too, he's the only fullback in Team of the Week. So if there was he was the best fullback in Super League. So if there was no fullbacks, I'm pretty sure we hear a riot like Ashton back in the day.
It's true. I mean, it is hard just naturally for fullbacks to get in there. But here, I got a little more to add on. It's a little bit surprising to see Dark Berry on there. Nearly retired this offseason and came back in and has a starting 11 spot on Team of the Week. So good for him to get back in. And do you, Louis, bro, coming up from League One, being able to make it into the bench on Team of the Week, that's a good thing to do. So props to them.
I think we all know no one ever officially retires from the league. They always come back.
Fun story about Darkberry, from what I've learned over the past couple of weeks, is that he wasn't going to come back to PCN, but after the newest signee goalkeeper for Leverkusen, Ruther, decided on 19 he was going to turn himself into a striker, they was left with no other option but to ask Barry to come back. So I guess he did it for his team.
What's working out for him so far?
Absolute mad lad.
Who has loyalty in PCN anymore, honestly? What a fag.
Wow. Hey, stay high if you're listening. Don't ever fuck with Brazil anymore.
Nah, it just feels like a lot of people in PCN don't have the same level of loyalty as some of the teams, ironically enough, like Juve for a while up until this season, apparently.
Brazil, I want you to be the Wicked to my league.
And on we go to League One. Jakub, do you want to take the floor for a little bit because your team is sat on top of my team?
Yeah, it feels good to be in first. I gotta say, it's a bit easier than I expected. Going through 10 games, there's only been one challenge so far, let's be honest. It's gotta be AC Milan. They got some goats on their team.
I thought you were going to say Santos.
Oh, no, Santos. Honestly, out of all the games I played, Santos, by far the worst team. And, no one compares to how bad Santos FC are.
Vape scored a world-class screamer against their keeper.
Oh, yeah.
We all saw
fucking
that.
tea and scones.
I put that in goals of the week.
Thank you.
You did not.
Thank
I
you.
put it at number 4.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. Well,
God.
there we go. You guys already know what number 4 is going to be on goals of the
I
week.
can't believe it. Oh, my
No,
God.
No, Brazilian. It sounds insane. It sounds insane, but tell people at PCN to either record their goals or score better goals because there wasn't that much to compete
there
with.
wasn't. Yeah, I know.
Hey, man, Vape's goal was good.
We spin this broken
really was.
record. We spin this broken record about inviting people onto the podcast and they flake.
At BK Community.
But it's the
Can we
same
get BK in
vein.
here?
It's the same vein for goals and saves. If you want to see more highlights or better highlights, because let's be honest, Vapes was fucking trash.
Hey.
If you want to see,
I want to see you score that bench boy.
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
Brazilian, can we get a fact check? I think that might have broke the record for PCN's longest goal.
Exactly. I'm a record breaker.
I'm sure.
Trendsetter. I'm a legend.
Yeah.
I
The
am
point
God.
is-
I am Murata.
Record your game clips if you want to see more than just Vape on the goals and saves of the week. Make sure if you score a screamer or you make a worldie of a save, you record it and send it into the PCN website so that you can get some recognition that you deserve. Anyways, back to you, Jakub.
All right. Here's where I left off. I was talking about AC Milan. I think AC Milan's got two of the best players in the league, such as the one and only TGLX, the Atom. Just elite player, and Hinckley. That's a man that all the defenses got to look out for. Hinckley's the best striker in the league, let's be honest. He got snubbed out of the team of the week. Yeah, that's all I got to say. Interesting matchup next week against Tottenham. I think we all know who's going to win, though.
I will say, in their match against Ajax, Milan were just unreal. 6-0 was a comprehensive scoreline, but that wasn't even the highest scoring match. And unfortunately enough, the reciprocant was still Ajax, who took a 9-0 beating against Real Madrid. So, not the best week for them, if we're being honest.
Is it too early to call D1 a 3-horse race right now? With
It's a 1-horse race.
And Milan?
You're going to piss off Santos for saying that. Watch out.
I mean, there's a few sleeper picks, I would say. There's a couple teams in D1 that could at least put up a fight. Atletico are decent. Napoli, if they stopped having AJ on their team, they'd probably be better.
Don't forget Galatasaray. They've been pretty solid so far out the gate.
Galatasaray I've actually impressed for being a team that when we friendlied them, we had kind of mixed reactions about.
I feel it's not going to be a title contender because of the way the team was put on them, but Dortmund has new management, and it's a guy that a lot of people know. So it's going to be a team to look out for, not to win the league because it's already kind of over for that.
Yeah,
but
they're 23 points behind first place right now. So they're not going to win the league, but they can definitely make a push up the table.
they can make a push
Perps
for
is a
the
cool guy.
playoffs.
All right, and moving on down the table a little bit. Right now I'm 5th and 6th. We got both Madrid teams with Atletico and Real Madrid. Atletico edging them out by 1 point. Shout out to Trey Bitchler. All right. 7th place is AS Monaco. 8th and 9th is tied between Napoli and Barcelona. And 10th place is sadly Santos. I don't know how teams are doing worse than Santos, but we'll figure that out on a later date.
I got some mixed emotions. This is one of the clubs I support in real life, friend. Like, tread carefully.
Can we take a moment? I saw this the other day. I wanted to voice this. Monaco is in 7th, but they've changed managers back and forth. I think like 4 or 5 times between the same 2 guys.
That sounds like the old Tottenham back in the day with fucking what was his name, Hank and OG Fear's God.
Oh my God!
And King Platey.
All right, and then under Santos, we got right above the relegation zone. You got Ajax, Red Bull Leipzig, and PSV. And then making up the relegation zone right now is Club America, who have the second worst defense in the league with 31 goals allowed in 10 games. The next 2 teams under them are Dortmund, which we probably will see climb out of that very soon. And then last place is FC Porto, who there's actually been some controversy today in the Discord with the management and players. I don't really want to go into too much of detail because there's so much shit, but it looked really ugly. And right now for League One, top goal scorer in the league, my son, Munchie. I'm still waiting for you to get an assist, but I guess goals are good for now. And then second place in goals is Hinkley with 10 goals in 9 games. And then after that is King Smurf, Sanders, and K-City Shoja with 9.
Yeah, you're sleeping on Chubbs.
Yeah, I'm really sleeping
He's only
on
got
Chubbs.
4 games in on striker, but he has 6 goals. I don't know. You're sleeping on him, dog.
I don't think anyone's sleeping on Chubbs.
Yeah, they were sleeping on Chubbs as much as Eddie Disaster's trash ass.
All right, then that should be good for League One, and we'll transition to League 2. Oh, we got more.
I want the controversy of the team of the week.
Let's talk about the team of the week.
Yeah, we won't be speaking about that. Right?
Oh, we'll be talking about the team of the week, buddy. free Hinkley.
All right, if I'm going to be completely honest, Dorsey going AWOL didn't really help. Brazil being retarded and not making his own submission didn't help. Yeah, so AC Milan, it felt like you guys got cheated out. Well, you can thank Brazilian. All right, have a great day.
Shout out to Cozy Bryant.
Yeah, shout out to
Cozy. Oh,
I do thoroughly apologize. It was a mix of having to make last-minute picks and the fact that Dorsey wasn't here, so the responsibility got shifted to me to make a last-minute pick, and I choked, like, real hard, like, on all the dicks, all of them. And
damn.
Who's man?
Yeah. So next week, I feel like the selection will be a little more fair and unbiased. Honestly, it was so late in the night that I was like, okay, Vape's team of the week looks good. I'll just like change 2 players and send it back. That's totally on me. To go over the team of the week itself, we've got You're a Virgin as our player of the week.
Faggot.
With 8 games played, 7 goals. Not too shabby. Along with Munchies, who's also got 8 games, 7 goals. Pretty decent. I totally lost track of where I was going. I was so proud of myself with the You're a Virgin that I just couldn't go any further.
Yeah, describing yourself must be really hard, huh?
Oh, fuck off.
Shout out to the Jamaican brothers at CDM and Max and Vital for
Vidal.
Yeah.
Just the awkward silence.
Don't take that out. Don't cut that out.
Oh, please don't. That was actually good.
All right, then rounding out the starting 11 is Akuma, Mike Hogg, Avals, Nightmare, and then Bauer, 43, the goalkeeper.
I'm just going to forget about my name.
Oh, yeah, Bumash Jakub.
Yeah, leading the league in key passes. Like, tied for key assists.
That happens when you pass Eddie Disaster, huh?
Yeah, Eddie Disaster. He's got like 3 goals, and he's leading the league in possessions lost.
Legend.
I said this in my write-up, but I want to say it again just because Jeepers has been lights out. I remember last season during the podcast, AJ talked about Jeepers' consistency levels and how he was just a good, consistent keeper. And that's really just showing now. He's got 50 saves in 8 games. He's just really he's just on fire. Like he's doing super well, and I think he's a really big part to Napoli's back line.
All right, rounding out the rest of the team of the week, you got Young Saucer, the only outside back in D1. They make it in the team of the week. Then you also got Pass the Rock from Leipzig. Well, since they've been really bad, he's been a really shining part of their team. So hopefully he can carry that trash-ass defense back up. Playing the least amount of games out of anyone, you have Cozy motherfucking Bryant. 4 games, but he's tied to lead the league in assists at the time of the team of the week being logged with 5 assists. Then the rest of the team of the week is Dat Stinky Ham, A1 Buzzkill, and Smoke Break.
So after that, we'll move on to League 2. Wish, you want to take us away?
Yeah, man. First time PCN member. So far, so good. A majority of League 2 right now, I guess they're still trying to get their teams together because they can't keep up with us. So we're just trying to take over League 2 and jump into League 1 and perhaps move into Super League sooner or later.
Nope, right now first in the table is Lille on 25 points, and second is Olympiacos on 23. So it's looking like to be a 2-horse race. Fenerbahce is kind of close, but what's your take on that, Wish?
We'll catch Lille. When we played them the first time, we drew because of our own goal. So we play them again, and hopefully we should, catch a victory. So I mean, we're right there. I think it will be a good two-team race. We'll be right there at the end, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even if you guys don't unfortunately win the title, you'll still get promoted. So in the end, you guys are still going to the same place.
Yeah, man. Most of my team, they're pretty competitive, so they're trying to win a title. So we was pretty upset that we lost our League Cup game. We wasn't focused, so that was pretty bad.
As this being your first season in PCN, what has been your biggest, I guess, thing you had to adapt to or adjust to? Was there anything that you found different to any other leagues you might have played in before?
Well, honestly, this is like my first time ever even getting into like a big league. Most of my players we've played for a long time, since like FIFA 15, FIFA 16, and we just decided to finally get competitive and actually join and make it. It was getting kind of boring just playing regular teams, so we wanted to join and create our own team, and that was kind of make it kind of fun as well. So it's been kind of fun, like recruiting players and trying to find new talent and meet new people also.
Yeah, I will say as far as leagues go, I feel this is one of the better ones for the sense of community. Most people tend to get to know most other people in this league, and it's a lot of people club hop and play with each other. So I think you'll settle right in and have a good time in this league.
Yeah, and it's pretty fluid so far too. I like the website. I like the I just like the graphics and. Yeah, so it's been pretty fluid so far. No complaints thus far. We just like to have fun and just trying to get into competition wise.
All right, and then under you guys is I've already mentioned Fenerbahce, and then in third place, fourth place is Sporting CP, fifth place is Genk, sixth and seventh is tied between Valencia and Besiktas. I actually know the manager of Besiktas. I used to play Call of Duty with him like 5-6 years ago, so it's cool to see him join the league. Eighth place is CSK Moscow, ninth place is Marseille, and 10th place is New York Red Bulls.
And it looks like New York Red Bulls just got a new manager, right?
I believe so. Oh my god!
Yeah,
I went to check their profile on League Republic, but the man made his name on there, his actual name. So, last kick, Oscar, you guys are on top.
Better read out some government names.
Yeah, I ain't trying to expose.
The former Red Bulls manager is now the Porto manager in League One, so that's kind of
Gotcha.
questionable. So let's talk about the team of the week. Starting striker, Serginho, leading the league with 8 goals, but this man doesn't pass the ball.
No key passes and no assists through 6 games. I don't know how.
Yeah, on his card, like they had nothing else to put, so the last thing was just a 0.
Like, you literally
Like,
have to try to
literally,
get no key
no.
passes.
Look, I made these cards and I went through his stats. I was like, okay, he has nothing more to offer me outside of this. Like, I have nothing else to put.
Yeah, I'd also
I
like
mean,
to
you could have put
apologize.
possessions lost, but
I would like to apologize for the League 2 write-up. I didn't know anybody on this list except for like a couple people, so the write-up was pretty dry. But next time I should be better with it. It's just that going through it the first time, I was like, fuck, this shit's really boring. Like, I don't know anyone.
Okay, this is gonna be is Mr. and Mrs. Mace, are they?
Yes.
Are they like
Yes.
Yes.
What? That's
I don't get-
dope.
I don't know if you could tell, but they were married in 2014.
Huh. That's
You
pretty
know,
dope.
inside
That's
information.
pretty cool, man. They play on the same
That's pretty
team and
dope.
stuff. That's pretty sweet. And they both got a team of the week.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Families
So
that
Mace-
game together, stay together.
Yeah, Mr. Mace is the starting goalie for Genk, and Mrs. Mace is the starting striker. We're going through the rest of the team of the week. The second starting striker is Olympiakos' own. That water's not safe. The cam, which is the player of the week, and also Genk's manager, Kapui29. The other cam to go with him is his teammate, Renzo. The DMs are former Super League Team of the Season player, Gato Bravo. I was actually surprised when I saw him down in League 2 because I had absolutely no idea where the hell he went. And then partner is another Olympiakos player in Brandon Nick. In the defense, we have former PCN Schalke player Super Zizou making his return to the PCN. At left back for Fenerbahce. The CBs are former D1 Team of the Season player One Shot 26 and then Immortal Panda 12. The right back is Eagle Warrior and goalie is the aforementioned Mr. Mace.
Shout out to League 2 for being the only ones to have fullbacks in Team of the Week.
Right.
Yeah, we
I
don't
did
play
not-
with fullbacks either.
Yeah, everyone wants to run a 3-back, so rounding out the rest of the team of the week, we got James T as the last defender on that list. With midfielders, you got Luis 15 from Fenerbahce, outside mid in Iblika from Lille, another outside mid in Valis Rex 666 coming from Olympiakos, and then the two strikers was Mrs. Mace and then Shuda 6355.
I can hear you squinting your eyes to read that small font.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, that has been our PCN podcast. Thank you for everyone for listening, and we'll see you all next time.